Reflections. You know, in Genesis 2:22, it talks about how God put Adam to sleep so that he can pull out a rib to find his queen, to create a queen for him, because every man has to have a wife. Every man needs a helpmate, and every woman needs a helpmate. The woman is put on earth to help a man, not because the man was here first, even though that's what the Bible says, but because it's the wisdom, the divine intelligence that women possess, the spiritual powers that women possess, the encouragement that only a woman can give. We need that as men. That is essential. You know what I'm saying? It's critical, actually. If you look at any man in history, from modern day history to back in the day, every great leader, when I mean great, someone who's benevolent, someone who cared about the people, someone who did a lot in community, they always had an awesome woman beside them. Not behind them, but beside them. Martin Luther King, Coretta Scott King, even Malcolm X's wife. You have Marcus Garvey, who was also married, Booker T. Washington and his wife, Barack Obama and his wife, Queen Michelle, forever the First Lady. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Everybody had a great woman, every one of these men. So for a man to think that he doesn't need a woman, or a woman to think that she doesn't need a man, that's just what society wants us to believe and think, so that we can continue working in isolation. You see, the enemy only shows up when there's unity. In Genesis, again, in the very beginning, as soon as Adam finds Eve, that's when Satan pops up. You know what I'm saying? Or when David had to go fight Goliath, that didn't happen until the prophet came to find David and to propose to him, to let him know that he was the chosen one, that he was the future king of the country. Meaning that God wanted him to come together to unite the nation. And so therefore, that situation gave him an opportunity to fight Goliath. You see, your blessings doesn't really come until you face adversity. If he didn't fight that giant and defeat that giant, all the blessings David received was never going to happen. And for men, a lot of us, especially my strong black kings out here, we never going to get to our blessings unless we find our queen. Because the woman is half of the whole combination. I call it the cosmic combination. Everything we do, everywhere we go, everything we say, the time, the space, the temperature, all of that plays an important part in the cosmos. And there's a combination that has to be turned. When the lockers, when you turn, you got to turn to the right, turn to the left, turn to the right. Them old school lockers, it's the same thing in safes. You can't open up the safe or the locker until you know the combination. And we don't know the combination, but I do know this. Part of that winning equation comes from the divine sacred energy of our black queens. Now, in my book, 7 Types of Queens, King Desire, I elaborate in great detail why it's important to find the right woman, because you can either marry into a blessing or you can marry into a curse. The choice is really yours, really, because you see plenty of marriages, plenty of relationships that are ending abruptly. Maybe a couple of months they're married, maybe a week they're married, maybe a year or two they're married, because they never took the time to understand the importance of that other person and love the small details about that person, and why those characteristics of a potential mate has a key part in me growing and building. That's what love is. Love is edifying. Love is building. Love is glowing. And if you're in a relationship and you're not glowing, you're not really in a good relationship, because a real good relationship, you're going to glow, you're going to grow, you're going to, you're going to prosper in that relationship. Blessings start coming left and right. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's the cosmic combination. Everything has an importance. And we need to see that reflection in our mates. And most of us men, especially me, I was bachelor for a long time, single for many years. Well, many years, really 3 years. But in that time of dating and hunting, because men are hunters, we're natural hunters. You know, Tony Gaston gave a great video about why a woman should pursue a man, and he's absolutely right, because when a woman pursues a man, now she becomes a gazelle and not a lioness. You follow what I'm saying? And all that time I was dating and just trying to find a queen. I even wrote a book to find my queen. But I was looking for my reflection, and I couldn't find my reflection. It wasn't until I found a woman that I could see myself in her, and she sees herself in me. Now we see each other. We're a mirror of each other. And so what you do in the mirror, you look at yourself and you fix what needs to be fixed. It might be a button that needs to be buttoned up. You know, it might be something that's wrinkled up on your shirt. Maybe your eyebrows or mustache is not looking right. You know what I'm saying? You improve yourself. Because why? You want to look better. You want to feel better. You want to be edified. And so when we find a person that's the perfect reflection, it's like now we edifying one another. You know, we are constantly uplifting, giving encouraging words to one another. Because a lot of times we get in relationships and we're not edifying, we're not empowering, we're not, you know what I'm saying, pushing the other person up. And when you do that, you tend to actually focus on the negative things of a person more than the positive things. So I realized if I focus more on my mate's things that I love about her and not on the things I don't like about her, guess what happens? The things that I don't like about her, and she knows she's going to work to improve that. And it makes it work out beautifully. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you find your reflection. It's a beautiful thing. You actually open up portals of blessings and not curses. You know, now you're getting witty ideas and inventions. Now you're starting new businesses. Now you're investing your time into the right things, because now, not only that, you're conversating with this person, with her or him, and now she's actually giving you words of wisdom because she wants to see the best in you, young king. She wants to see you grow. She wants to see you become the king. Because whether men, you like it or not, a lot of, you know, male chauvinistics are not going to like what I'm about to say, but the woman is the throne. And we will never get back to greatness as black kings unless our women gets back to the throne. Because right now, we're in the age of the woman. And I can see it clearly in Atlanta because the women are very prosperous up here. Very prosperous and wealthy. And not just black women, whites, Asians, Hispanics. Women are doing very good for themselves. And even though it's costing us, society anyway, our children are confused for the most part. This is a time where there's a lot of confusion going on. There's a spirit of the perversion, fornication. I mean, things are a little sideways for now. There's a time and place for everything, right? So once the woman continues to grow and get on this high pedestal and get on the throne, now she can open the doors to let the man rule beside her on the throne, because it's from the woman we get our energy from. It's from the woman we get our wisdom from. It's the woman we get our divine intelligence from. She is the source of all of that. This was proven in Kemet, which is Egypt today. It's proven in Kush, which is Ethiopia. You know, Dahomey, which today is Benin. South Africa, South region of Africa rather, where Queen Azinga was ruling and reigning. The woman was the throne. A man cannot become king unless a woman crowned him king. This was 10, 20,000 years ago. This is what our ancestors believed, but we allowed the European system to get our minds backwards to thinking that I have to be, as a man, I got to be the ruler. I got to be the dominant one. I got to suppress the energy of our queen. I got to talk down upon her. I got to step on her neck, step on her confidence. And in reality, it's just messing us up because we need that energy. She is the source. She is the motivation for why we built those big pyramids and edifices, those monuments. It's because of the motivation and inspiration of our women. You follow what I'm saying? And until women get back to the throne, men will always be backwards, generally speaking. A lot of us are. You know, I can speak today being 31, a marketing manager for a Fortune 500 company, written 2 books, 2 films, have a mentoring program, host an annual community event, the annual Black on Black Crime Solutions panel. I can say all these things, graduated college. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of my accomplishments, right? But how many people can black men actually say they were even able to do so, even be in the right state of mind to do those things, to accomplish those things? A lot of them, they can't. And may not ever will, because of the way the system is built. It's built for us to suppress our women, to listen to music, watch social media. What is happening? The constant degradation of black women, the constant degrading of the image of our black queens. That impacts us and reflects upon us. So if our women are ratchet, then that means the men are ratchet. That reflection is what we are seeing of ourselves and in of ourselves. See, the inner beauty of a person is the true beauty of a person. That's the crown, the heart. So as long as we allow the media to manipulate the way we perceive our women, and that's the way we see ourselves. So we look down upon them, we're looking down upon ourselves. We look higher upon them, we're looking higher upon ourselves. When you're in a relationship, when your woman looks good, men, don't you look good as well? Does that make you look good when your woman is glowing and she has this pep in her step, this confidence? Everybody wants to look or you just be around her because of that. And you have to be there to provide and protect that divine sacred energy. And a lot of men just aren't there to do that. And so I hope that my next book, 7 Types of Kings, Queen's Desire, which is actually not my next book, but my forthcoming book, is coming later this year. But this summer, The Winner in the Mirror is going to be released. And I'm very excited about this book because it's going to touch on a lot of things. But 7 Types of Kings, I'm really talking to you men to step it up. Because if we allow our women to rise, we rise. Well, if we constantly let them fall and not provide and protect for them, and letting them be attacked by these wolves and be burnt by the fires of life, that just makes us look bad because it impacts our children. It impacts our children, it impacts us. It impacts the whole community. So anyway, I'm King Kevin Dorival. Hope you enjoy this. Share it, like it, subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Courage to Believe. That's number 2 in Courage to Believe. And yeah, website KevinDorival.com. Be blessed. I love to hear your comments. Share this video. Much love. Anything is possible for those that believe. And believe in your God-given talents and abilities. Thank you.